down deep in the murky, cypressy swamps of Charleston, South Carolina, a man was born. A man by the name of Gumba Jack. Born right at the stroke of midnight. What some folks consider halfway between good, halfway between evil. He was raised by the Broom Lady, one of the most notorious conjurers on this side of the Mississippi. She raised him as her own and taught him her ways. But as Gumba Jack grew older, he began to turn on the Broom Lady. Whatever you put out into this world will be returned to you 10 times worse, she would say. But then, one day, the Broom Lady died mysteriously. Some even say at the hands of Gumba Jack himself, for he had gotten even more powerful than the Broom Lady. All of the following are infamous urban legends. The Abominable Snowman, the Blair Witch, the Great Sea Kraken, Michael Jackson. But what about the legend of the Tailypo? Born deep in the Appalachian Mountains, the Tailypo, an indescribably evil creature, will go head-to-head against Gumba Jack, one of the most evil men to ever walk this earth. Who will come out on top? Let's find out in Gumba Jack by Cheddar Galloway. News of Gumba Jack's reputation began to spread around town, and he became a hated man for all of the evil deeds he had done. So the townspeople gathered and decided to run Gumba Jack out of town. So Gumba Jack and his 3 big, vicious dogs left Charleston, South Carolina, finally settling in the Appalachian Mountains of Virginia. He built himself a cabin high up in the valley. But you know, there's a saying, evil knows where evil sleeps. So one day, as Gumba Jack was eating himself some dinner, something strange happened. He heard his front door suddenly open up, and a big, ugly, evil creature came, a-slipping and a-sliding through the door. The creature had big red eyes, jet black fur, and long, sharp nails. And it was swinging a big, thick, long tail. Now Gumba Jack figured that a creature like that was only there to do him harm. And so he reached for and got his axe and chased that creature all the way to one side of his house. But the creature escaped. So then he chased the creature all the way back to the other side of the house. But the creature got away again. Then, as the creature was making its way to the front door, Gumba Jack raised his axe, and in one big, sweeping motion, cut the tail off of that creature. That big, thick, long, juicy tail. A tail that Gumba Jack decided he was going to eat. So he took the tail, put it up on his counter, cut it up, zoop, 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 put it in a big pot, and waited for it to simmer. When it was done, he ladled it into a bowl, ate it all up, washed it down with a big glass of water, blew out his candles, and made his way to bed. But it wasn't long until he heard a voice that broke the silence of the night air. Gumba Jack, Gumba Jack, you have something of mine. I want it back. You know what it is. I know you know. So bring me back my Tailypo. But you see, Gumba Jack was not worried. Because remember, he was living with those 3 big, vicious dogs. And so he called those dogs. In fact, one of them's dog's name was Big, the other one was Bad, and the last one was just plain ugly. He called out, "Get 'em, Big, suck 'em, Bad, kill 'em, Ugly." And so the dogs shot out from underneath the house, one from the right, one from the left, and one straight from the middle. And they chased that creature all the way down the hill. And then Gumba Jack decided he would go to bed. He didn't wait for those dogs to return. The next morning, he woke up and realized he needed some firewood. So he got his big axe, put on his hat, and made his way out his front door. When he looked down and realized he was not the only person there that night, there were these big scratch marks that reached from one end of the porch all the way to the other. Gumba Jack turned around to head back in, and he saw the same scratch marks reaching from the top of his door to the bottom. Gumba Jack then heard it again, that voice that sent chills down his spine. "Gumba Jack, Gumba Jack, I got your dogs, and they ain't coming back. You know what it is, I know you know, so bring me back my taily pup." At this, Gumba Jack opened the door to his bedroom, hopped in bed, pulled up the covers, and was breathing heavy. He was scared, literally, half to death. He stayed there waiting for the creature to come, and then morning came, and he heard the creature open the door, and the creature came, a-slipping, a-sliding, a-slithering through the door. When the creature reached Gumba Jack's bedroom, Gumba Jack saw those big red eyes, that jet black fur, and those long, sharp nails. And then that creature started making its way to Gumba Jack's bed, crawled all on top of him, first his feet, then his legs, his knees, all the while whispering, "Gumba Jack, Gumba Jack, I'm here to get my taily po back." And then the creature ripped off the sheets of Gumba Jack's bed, and with those long, sharp nails, ripped Gumba Jack up to shreds. Gumba Jack's cabin fell down that night. The only thing that remained was the stone and mud chimney he had put up there. Some folks even say that if you listen real close, when the moon is out, amongst the stars lighting up the night sky, you can hear the voice of the creature. "Taily po, taily po, now I's got my taily